What is up, my valid peeps? Cadian here. Kamen Rider Gotchard has many cameos used to access many forms, many of which only exist in concept art. There are quite a few forms, however, that don't. Rather, they only exist in unused sounds from across Gotchard's toy line. With the success of my video last month where I gave Super Gotchard and Majade more forms, today I shall fill out the rest of Valvarad's customs, accessed through both the Valvarusher and the Valvaradriver. With all that being said, let's get started. Right before we continue though, I just wanted to bring attention to the currently ongoing crises in the world. Among these include Israel's genocide and colonization of Palestine and other surrounding countries, the genocide and slavery in Congo, the war in Yemen, and the war and blackout in Sudan. If you could take your time to donate to these causes, boycott those supporting oppression, or even just spreading awareness about these, it would be much appreciated. I'll put some relevant links down in a pinned comment, and now, back to the video. There are 14 vehicle cameras that can be used in the Valvarusher, though only 3 of them have actually been used in there in the show. Magwheel, Guts Shovel, and Gekio Copter. Out of the other 11, 7 of them use cameras from the main 101, which are the ones I'll be covering in the first half of this video. All of the new forms I'll be covering in today's video were made by one artist, JK5201, over on Fiverr. Tuning up into the first custom of the video is Valvarad's Spikle custom. This form is armed with a spiked bicycle wheel that by default acts as a melee weapon, but it can also be accelerated at high speeds and grinded against enemies like a chainsaw, and an energy projection of it can be launched from the bike, acting as a deadly spinning spiked disc. Skating all over the competition is Valvarad Skebo's custom. Amongst all the Pseudo Rider's customs, this is arguably his most unique one, as while it does add weaponless gear onto the right arm, his main asset here is the skateboard he gains, that he can ride however he pleases, granting him great mobility. While this custom is the most lacking in defensive potential, the skateboard is lined with a couple of spikes on each side, so it can be used as a melee weapon if absolutely necessary. Stronger than any firefighter is Valvarad Hikesku custom. The fire engine-like addition on this custom's arm is basically a multi-purpose fire extinguisher, able to freely switch between launching streams of water, foam, carbon dioxide, dry powder, and wet chemicals, able to put out any sort of fire standing in Valvarad's way. The pressure of any of these 5 can be freely manipulated as well, allowing the extinguisher to be used as a weapon against enemies, knocking them back with incredibly high pressure blasts. An expert at underwater combat, Valvarad Deep Mariner custom. The submarine-like attachment on this custom's arm is naturally a melee weapon, but also allows Valvarad to dive and travel through solid surfaces as if they were water, and of course can be used to actually traverse underwater, being the ideal custom for fighting marine combatants. The sides of the submarine house homing torpedoes that can be launched at enemies, striking them with explosive force. Armed with a clawed motorbike is Valvarad Gold Dash custom. The bike-like addition on Valvarad's arm grants him 2 main assets, a pair of pincer claws and a motorbike wheel. Similar to Spikle custom, the wheel can be used as a melee weapon and can be accelerated to grind against enemies. The claws on either side of the bike are able to move around freely, and can grab and hold onto objects and enemies alike with great strength and stability. When the claws are used together with the bike wheel, this makes for a deadly combo, holding an enemy in place with the claws while the wheel grinds against them at high speeds. Speeding down the track is Valvarad's Steamliner custom. The train covering Valvarad's arm in this custom is a knuckle duster as tough as the planet's strongest metals, and he can plow it into enemies with unstoppable steam-powered force. The train's steam power is able to boost Valvarad's speed, and he can also overheat this train, making his punches with it explosive and able to indiscriminately destroy anything that gets in its way, albeit the force of these explosions recoil onto Valvarad and can instantly de-transform him if strong enough. Tuning up with the strongest vehicle chemi is Valvarad's final Pseudo Rider custom, Exceed Fire custom. This form essentially grants Valvarad an arm-mounted jet plane, giving him the ability to fly through the air at great speeds and with masterful ease, even faster than the speed of sound if necessary. With Valvarad's Pseudo Rider customs now done, we'll move on to his Kamen Rider customs. Before that though, for your patrons watching, you can check out some of the scrapped prototype designs for the Valvarad customs. And if you're not a patron, you can join there for just £2 a month, where you can get exclusive updates and content relating to my videos, and watch them early too. Anyways, there are 12 unique chemi combinations that can be used in the Valvaradriver, but so far only a quarter of them have physical suits. Magwheel and Dione for base Valvarad, Gut Shovel and Jamata no Orochi for Orochi Shovel custom, a Gekiocopter and Angelid for Angelcopter custom. 8 of the other 9 combinations are for vehicle occult customs, which he has never used, and those are the ones I'll be covering. First up, igniting Spikle and Carry together is Valvarad's Spike Fairy custom. The spiked wheel is smaller and retains its previous abilities, but now it's able to reverse any cuts it makes with the wheel to fix them. This can be used to prevent property damage, and when combined with its cutting ability, Valvarad can cut open the ground, put an enemy in there and seal it up, trapping them. The box on Valvarad's other arm is a medical box, which can open up and 2 different things can come out. Fairies that are able to heal Valvarad and his allies, and medical syringes with needles that can auto-target and attack enemies like missiles. After igniting Skebos and Beresol together, Valvarad can access Skeborosol Custom. This custom has much greater offensive potential than its Pseudo-Rider counterpart, being armed with a Fold Umbrella-inspired cannon on his arm that he can shoot with, and also open up to use as a shield. The skateboard is now merged into Valvarad's left leg, and has an eye on it, which aids Valvarad in skateboarding, helping him to avoid obstacles without him needing to look himself. The eye can also lock onto enemies so that the shots from the umbrella cannon never miss. Achieved by igniting Hikescu and Sei Zombie together is Valvarad's Rescue Zombie custom. While he can still put out fires and blast enemies with streams of any of the 5 extinguishants, this ability has now evolved, and Valvarad can also shoot bullets of these. If they hit someone, Valvarad is able to take control of them like a zombie henchman that will do his every bidding, whoever they may be, human or otherwise. Whenever an extinguishant bullet takes control of someone, both the eyes of the fire engine that shot the bullet and the target being controlled go teal like say zombies' eyes, and stay glowing as long as they're being controlled. These bullets can also turn into zombie constructs on their own, acting as henchmen that will do everything he commands them to. By igniting Deep Mariner and Secure Pyre together, Valvarad can use the Marine Pyre custom. This form carries over Deep Mariner custom's ability to dive and travel through solid surfaces like they were water, and being able to travel underwater, once again being ideal for fighting aquatic enemies. The submarines on each arm are armed with teeth that can bite into enemies and drain their life energy. Valvarad can also use this attack at range, launching the entire submarines from his arms, homing in on enemies like Deep Mariner Customs torpedoes. They still bite into the target and drain their life energy upon impact, but with this variation of the attack, Valvarad is able to detonate these submarines whenever he chooses, and the more life energy they've drained, the more powerful the resulting explosion. The only one of Valvarad's Kamen Rider customs to not have a Pseudo-Rider equivalent, igniting Magwheel and Dione together, is Valvarad Mad Dio custom. This form is armed with a cannonbow on each forearm to bash enemies with, along with engines which can ignite and greatly boost his speed. The cannonbow can be set aflame to boost their damage output, and when they're smashed into the ground while like this, it becomes molten lava, simultaneously trapping and burning enemies. Pairing this with the engine boost, Valvarad can dash towards and utterly annihilate trapped enemies with the cannonbow. Following the igniting of Gold Dash and McCracken, we have Valvarad Macro Dash custom. The rods on each hand weapon can be used as regular melee weapons, but they can also act like tentacles, being able to stretch, attack, and grab with ease. With 4 rods across the 2 weapons, this can give Valvarad access to up to 4 tentacles. The weapons can also rotate around to put the wheels at the front. These wheels act like they are covered in tentacle suckers, able to stick to and move on any surface. Of course, much like Gold Dash Custom's wheel, they can still be accelerated to grind against enemies. Penultimately, via igniting Steamliner and Ninetail, Valvarad Liner Tail custom is made. Like before, the fox-faced trains are knuckle dusters as tough as the planet's strongest vessels that can boost Valvarad's speed, and not only can they be used in close quarters combat, they can now also be launched out from his hands, able to strike enemies both right in front of him and at long range, no matter how far away they may be. Valvarad doesn't even have to be able to see his enemies to strike them with the trains, as they have supernatural senses able to detect enemies wherever they may be. Oh, and the speed boost he gets with this custom is only applied as long as the trains are attached to him. Lastly, by igniting the level 10 chemis Exceed Fighter and UFO X together, Valvarad UFO Fighter custom is born. This form's claws are much like those of Super Gotchard Cross Exceed Fighter, able to be used for melee combat, but also being like repulsors, capable of energy blasts, though instead of simply enhancing flight, they allow Valvarad to full-on fly, no other additions needed. This flight, much like Exceed Fighter customs, can go faster than the speed of sound, though unlike Cross Exceed Fighters, it even works in outer space. The other main asset of this form are the UFOs mounted on the claws, which are able to detach from them and attack enemies, including trapping them in tractor beams and teleporting them between each. And with that, Valvarad has customs for all of the vehicle and occult chemis from the main 101. I hope you all enjoyed that. Thanks to JK5201 for making this possible. Go check him out. I'll leave a link to his Fiverr down in the description. After 2 videos covering 31 new forms, you may think I've covered all the unused forms from Gotchard, but that's where you'd be wrong. There's quite a few more to cover, and if you'd like to see them, let me know down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Join my Patreon for just £2 a month to see my videos early. And with all that being said, I'll see all your valid peeps next time.